7 force field. Don't worry. I'll break you out of there. Glad I could help.
Hey everybody, this is .NET Coder bringing another Quniverse news edition. Today we have quite a bit of stuff breaking, so buckle up, it's going to be a good one. Also, if you've got some comments, please leave them underneath the video. We definitely appreciate all your input and all the great comments we've been getting. Also, if you like it, give it a thumbs up, and if you guys happen to come back a lot, go ahead and subscribe, turn those notifications on, and you'll be notified. We got some breaking reports that are be coming up soon, and so you don't want to miss those. Also, I guess the format slightly changed here in the paper. We're not putting the links all over the place now. Each one of the articles are now clickable, so feel free to just click on the articles themselves to be able to, of course, go and dive a little deeper. So, without further delay, we'll get on over to the team. So, take it away, guys.
Hey, thanks. And welcome, folks, to another edition of Quniverse News, number 35, for Wednesday, May 9th, 2018. Starting off with the Schneiderman scandal. Eric Schneiderman is the former Attorney General of New York. He resigned on Monday amid allegations 4 women accuse him of being physically violent with them. Interesting to note, Schneiderman was one of the loud Me Too voices, going so far as to take legal action against Harvey Weinstein. 2 other compelling pieces to this. First, POTUS calling out Schneiderman's shadiness in 2013 and 14, stating, "Wiener is gone, Spitzer is gone. Next will be lightweight AG Eric Schneiderman. Is he a crook? Wait and see. Worse than Spitzer or Weiner," end quote. And secondly here, 5 years ago, Schneiderman suspended the case against Claire Bronfman and Dr. Brandon Porter. They are connected with the NXIVM sex cult. So that's really interesting there. A lot of those details are starting to come to light about that. Another thing to examine here, Schneiderman's affiliations with various bad actors like George Soros' son, Al Franken, and Bernie Sanders. So here's the thing with stories like these, folks. It goes way beyond the current headline. Be sure to click each story here for more information. Now on to Wolverine.
And thank you, Juniper. And first up, we have in the Corruption Corral here the stroke page text messages. The FBI is refusing to follow up on those, so more to follow. Hopefully the Congress will keep us posted. Then we have the story with Martha McCallum, Fox News article here, and she's interviewing Judge Napolitano, and he's talking about the corruption of power in regards to redacted documents, and he believes that it should not be in the hands of those who create the document itself. It should be a third party making those decisions. And pairing off the last article for redacted documents issues, it's going into this next one from Fox News. It's drawing questions from Congress based on the previous article and how that is affecting the Mueller probe, especially at the lawyer level. So his teammates or his employees are having issues with ethics. Go figure. So give this article a read. So this next article is from Bigwig Politics. AP tries to cover up Clinton links to the sex cult. The Associated Press is running a full court press to block any reporting on the associations between Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton on the NXIVM court case, a sex cult that seems to its leader Ken Rainier and Allison Mack standing for trial for sex trafficking, and it goes much deeper than that. Other reporting has brought up minors involved, so this is going to go deep. It's going to be toxic to anybody that's involved. So this next article from Fox is covering fired NBC cameramen are suing over the network's inability to report things or retaliate when whistleblowers come forward. It looks like, we have Matt Lauer and Tom Brokaw both being accused now of some pretty heinous stuff. So yeah, we have to wait and see what happens with this. Hopefully now that with the parent offices being in New York and the AG covering for a whole bunch of other crimes before he left office, that the new guy will come in and actually look at this. So give it a read. And over to you, Spectre.
And in today's daily financial news, out of the Epoch Times today, in first speech, Fed's barking backs U.S. rate rises amid strong economy. U.S. interest rates have room to rise further given the remarkable strength of the U.S. economy, the Federal Reserve's newest regional Fed president said on Monday. Monetary policy is still pretty accommodative. When unemployment is low and inflation is effectively at our target, we probably ought to go to neutral in that environment, according to Richmond Fed President Thomas Barkin at an audience at George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia. Click on the thumbnail to read more. And out of the Hill, sources tell Reuters Comcast seeks to block Disney-Fox deal with all-cash bid. Comcast is seeking to block Walt Disney Company's acquisition of much of 21st Century Fox with an all-cash bid. Sources said Comcast has been speaking with investment banks about getting a hold of a bridge financing to stop the deal between Disney and Fox. Apparently, they've been waiting for a judge to decide next month on the Justice Department's challenge to AT&T's planned merger with Time Warner before it submits the offer to Fox. And this comes after Comcast offered a $31 billion bid to purchase the European broadcaster Sky in February, beating out an early entry from Fox for all of Sky. And moving along to the Japan Times, total net profit at Japan's 3 megabank groups likely to grow for the first time in 4 years. So the total net profit for Japan's 3 megabank groups are believed to have grown year on year for the first time in 4 years in the fiscal year that ended in March. Performance stems from an expected reversal of loan loss allowances thanks to an improving economic environment and from envisaged gains from sales of cross-held shares. Sumitomo Mitsui Financial Group, Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, and Mizuho Financial Group all are expected to report earnings throughout the week. Click on the thumbnails to read more. Out of Zero Hedge, the purge expands. Deutsche Bank planning to fire up to 20% of U.S. workers. So just a couple weeks after Deutsche Bank wasted no time at all to lay off 400 U.S. bankers, or roughly 10% of total, looks like they'll be at it again, and that could result in cutting about 20% of staff in the region. According to Bloomberg, Deutsche Bank isn't targeting a specific level of cuts at the U.S. unit, and the final figure will depend on each business line's decisions. And at the time, the company had about 10,300 employees in the U.S. at the end of 2017, or about a tenth of its global workforce. Also out of Zero Hedge, Italian yields surge as new elections loom. So traditional political chaos, decision-making gridlock, and a delightful inability to form a coalition government pushes the country to the verge of new elections has certainly perplexed traders. And the article also goes on to state that Italy's FTSE MIB benchmark slid as much as 2.4% after leaders of the Five-Star Movement and the League rejected the idea of a nonpartisan prime minister and called for elections. Click on the thumbnails for more. Out of the Washington Times, April was best month in history for U.S. budget, according to CBO figures. The government took in a record tax haul in April en route to its biggest ever monthly budget surplus. CBO said, as a surging economy left Americans with more money in their paychecks and just a little bit more to give to Uncle Sam. All told, the government collected $515 billion, spent $297 billion, and left a monthly surplus of $218 billion, which beat the previous record of $190 billion set in 2001. Now, the analysts were certainly surprised by the $40 billion more than they'd guessed at least a month ago. And you can just about bet Uncle Sam will surely spend that wisely, won't they? Click the link for more. And a couple interesting tweets today, first of which is out of SGT report, where it shows that gold was down 55 cents to $13.65 an ounce, and silver was flat at $16.48 an ounce on the COMEX. Click the link inside the tweet there to take you to more information there. And we also see at a Gold Telegraph, it says, want to know a sad fact? $20 in 1971 is the same buying power as $123.88 in 2018. In other words, inflation has destroyed savings. Money is supposed to be A, medium of exchange, B, unit of account, and C, a store of value. Fiat currencies do not store value, that erodes it, as evidenced by the graph below showing since the inception of the Fed, the dollar has dropped basically to nothing. Not worth the paper it's printed on. It's time to end the Fed, folks. Odnada, over to you.
Injustice and injustice. Let's take a look at the actor Tom Sizemore is being sued for allegedly molesting an 11-year-old child actor on a set of a movie, according to a new lawsuit. The recently filed suit claims Sizemore, best known for his roles in Saving Private Ryan and Black Hawk Down, inappropriately touched the 11-year-old girl under her underwear and digitally penetrated her while they were filming a scene for the 1994 movie Natural Born Killers. It also alleges that 20 or more people were present when the incident took place, which reportedly caused long-term damage. TMZ reported that, according to the complaint, Sizemore was initially removed from the project after the allegations surfaced at the time, but the alleged victim claims he was ultimately brought back to finish the movie and that she was the one who ended up getting the axe. Sizemore still maintains his innocence and is fighting the public suit. You know, it seems like a good time to mention that Tom Sizemore also has a role in the disturbing film by Trevor Sims called Adrenochrome. The plot is a young American veteran gets involved with a gang of Venice Beach psychos who are killing people to extract a psychedelic compound from their victims' adrenal glands. Is it just me, or do you get a sense that these Hollywood freaks are telling us exactly what they're up to? House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte and House Oversight and Government Reform Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy today called for the appointment of a special counsel to investigate potential bias and potential conflicts of interest and decisions made or not made by the Department of Justice in 2016 and 2017. In a letter to Attorney Jeff Sessions and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, the chairman requests the appointment of a special counsel to review evidence of bias by any employee or agent of the DOJ, FBI, or other agencies, the decisions to charge or not charge, and whether those decisions were made consistent with the applicable facts, the applicable law, and traditional investigative and prosecutorial policies and procedures, and whether the FISA process employed in the fall of 2016 and continuing into 2017 was lawful and pursuant to all relevant policies and procedures. You can read the letter by clicking on the image of this article. And veteran reporter Britt Hume tweeted, "I did not realize until I read the full transcript of Friday's court hearing how badly it went for the Mueller team, which was reduced to arguing, 'Yeah, we violated the regulations governing special counsels, but those regs are not enforceable in court.'" Click the thumbnail to see the tweet and also the transcript that is embedded in his tweet. And Audrey's Observations, or at Punkass Audrey, tweeted out an interesting document today, USA versus Rainier, yeah, that one, Nexium, et al. According to the filed documents on May 4th, 2018, on this case, the government may file superseding indictments soon. So she has the court document embedded in her tweet. If you click on it, it will take you to her tweet, and you see and save the file for your own records. And the Delaware Senate voted unanimously Thursday to become the first state in the U.S. to ban child marriages, no exceptions. Legislation prohibiting minors from marrying under any circumstance is headed to the governor's desk, where he's expected to sign it. Police said Kenneth Vigo Albertson, a 66-year-old living in Chiang Rai province on a retirement visa, is behind a website and Facebook page called Burmese Border Chicks for Hire that sold Myanmar women for 6,500 baht, or about $200 US. The business brought women in to meet clients on the Thai side of the border of Mae Sai and also offered to guide men into Myanmar for sex services, the police said. They said he had been operating for at least 10 years, and police said Albertson was arrested after arranging for two Myanmar women aged 25 and 18 to cross into Thailand and meet undercover officers who posed as clients at a hotel in Mae Sai. Pro-migration groups are angrily criticizing the federal government's Monday closure of a major catch-and-release loophole which releases illegal border crossers within 20 days if they bring children with them across the border. The new policy closes the catch-and-release loophole by detaining the parents while their children are placed in safe homes by the Department of Health and Human Services. This means the parents can be detained for longer than the 20-day limit set by the 1997 Flores decision, so allowing for the deportation legal process to be completed. Attorney General Jeff Sessions said, "If you cross this border unlawfully, then we will prosecute you. It's that simple. If you're smuggling a child, then we will prosecute you, and that child will be separated from you as required by law. If you don't like it, then don't smuggle children over our border." Pro-migration groups are complaining. Click on the article to read more about this. 9 people were charged in human trafficking sting on Kentucky Derby weekend, including a local doctor. Officers placed fake ads for sex, and it didn't take long for the phones to start ringing. Sergeant Tim Stokes with the LMPD's Special Victim Sex Crimes Unit said investigators arrested 7 men and cited 2 others. Please click the thumbnail of this article to read more about this story. The sale of Harvey Weinstein's bankrupt movie and TV company is being stymied by lawsuits from rappers Jay-Z and Eminem. The Weinstein Company, famed for producing Oscar-winning movies such as The King's Speech and Shakespeare in Love, was expected to be sold to a Dallas-based company, Lantern Capital, a private equity firm specializing in acquiring mid-sized companies. Weinstein doesn't have licenses to use the music and therefore can't sell them to a new owner, according to the lawsuit. Weinstein is no longer employed by the once hallowed New York-based independent movie company that he co-founded and still bears his name, and he's also being sued by actress Ashley Judd for defamation and sexual harassment. Wah, wah. And lastly, Ursula Haverback, the Nazi grandma we reported on last night, has been arrested and sent to prison after shortly going on the lam to escape a sentence related to Holocaust denial in Germany. And in health matters, thank you, brain. How the brain translates altruism into feelings of thankfulness. Feelings of gratitude following an altruistic experience may arise as a result of the integration of relevant social information in the perigenual anterior cingulate cortex, or PGACC. According to new research, a brain network that gives rise to feelings of gratitude has been uncovered, published in Journal of Neuroscience. The study could spur future investigations into how these building blocks transform social information into complex emotions. Click on the article thumbnail to learn more about this research and to view the various methods, charts, and graphs used in the study. 9 things that matter about psychoactive drugs. We are in a psychoactive drug epidemic in our country, most notably the opioids because of their tragic death toll. We need solutions to the epidemic to save lives, families, and communities, and government treasuries. But if we only focus on the drug itself, whatever it may be, we'll miss what really matters when it comes to how human beings respond to psychoactive agents. In other words, drugs and their uses are complex. They all contain psychoactive ingredients, but it's the other ingredients that we need to take a look at. Please click on this article to learn more. Now let's go take a virtual trip around the world for As the World Turns.
According to Chinese state television, Kim Jong-un met President Xi in northern China today. The talks, which covered, quote, an in-depth exchange on China-North Korea relations and major issues of common concern, end quote, were not disclosed until the North Korean leader was already out of China. It's an interesting development, as Kim Jong-un is set to meet with POTUS later this month to discuss denuclearization.
And thank you, Red. And we have this Fox News article here. China's political Sun Xinkou sentenced to life in prison for graft. He took $26 million in bribes, and he's been stripped of all political power and sentenced to life. On to you, Jennifer.
Heading to the Middle East, female Saudi drivers will be legally allowed to hit the streets on June 24th. That's according to leaders. Prince Mohammed bin Salman has been largely credited for leading the charge to allow women over the age of 18 to apply for driver's licenses. Whew, big victory, ladies.
And in Middle Eastern news, a pair of articles out of the anti-media via Zero Hedge, as well as Sputnik. Israeli forces reportedly struck targets near Damascus on Tuesday with missiles, according to Al-Masdar News, just hours after U.S. President Trump withdrew from the Iran sanctions deal. Both articles cite tweets from Danny Mackay and Amichai Stein with Twitter pictures and videos of major explosions at Iranian military communications bases. Go ahead and click the thumbnails for more information.
A few weeks ago, we reported on a Trump tweet referring to Pastor Andrew Brunson. Following up on the story, we've learned that he remains in a Turkish prison until his next court hearing scheduled for July 18th. He's denying allegations of terrorism and assisting in a failed 2016 coup. Other charges include establishing a, quote, Christian Kurdish state, end quote, and giving the U.S. coordinates to deliver weapons to assist Kurds in Syria. The pastor states that he only serves Jesus and that these accusations are, quote, shaming and disgusting, end quote. Click the thumbnail for more information as we continue to update this story.
So in African news, stalemate persists in Ethiopia dam talks with Egypt. The Egypt foreign minister makes a statement. Egypt and Ethiopia are logging heads over the construction of the Grand Renaissance Dam, a $4 billion hydroelectric project on the Cairo. Fears that, actually on the Nile, Cairo fears that will reduce the waters that run into the fields and the reservoirs in Egypt. So check out this article.
In Venezuela, President Maduro has been forced to call up retired Venezuelan officers as more soldiers desert the nation. Once an oil-rich country, Venezuela's socialist government has led to the demise of the once proud nation. Folks, this is a cautionary tale. Socialism, not even once.
And out of the Daily Caller, the Coast Guard is making moves to catch South American drug vessels before they reach the ocean. According to Business Insider, the U.S. Coast Guard has new plans to stop the advancement of South American cocaine smuggling vessels a little closer to home. The U.S. Coast Guard, U.S. Navy, and Columbia Navy all stopped a go-fast vessel, a narrow boat designed to travel at fast speeds and at low surface profiles, carrying nearly a half-ton of cocaine 600 miles west of the Galapagos Islands, where it was headed for U.S. borders. Click the thumbnail to read on. And that's our round tripper with As the World Turns. Next up, Odonata with accidents, deaths, missing, and resignations.
Today we have 4 deaths to report to you, an attack, and 1 resignation. Renowned psychology professor Jeremy D. Safran was beaten to death in his Brooklyn home on Monday by a hammer-wielding suspect. Safran, 66, was allegedly beaten to death by a 28-year-old suspect police have yet to publicly identify. And 3 people have been shot and killed in a home in Montgomery County, Maryland, according to a police report. The incident is believed to have been a result of a domestic dispute that spiraled out of control, and the attacker, Christopher Snyder, was holding his wife over the weekend hostage, and when she escaped, she ran across the street into a neighbor's home where there were 3 adults, a resident of the house and a guest, as well as a person who was working there, who were all shot dead by the attacker, and the shooter is said to have taken his own life as well. And this one really should be categorized as an attack, not an accident. So, following a free speech event in London, attendees moved on to several bars and pubs in Whitehall, London, before noticing a man covered in blood outside of the Silver Cross pub. And when the man came stumbling through the crowd, he informed them that he had been attacked by Antifa with a bike lock. And so he was rushed into the pub and received immediate medical attention, and the ambulance and police came to the scene to further his care. And the CEO of the French-Dutch company Air France has resigned. Jean-Marc Janiac has announced his decision to resign amid an employee strike over pay. Now let's move over to Wolverine.
Thank you, Odonata. And now we have questionable mentionables. And first up, on the Daily Wire, the actor Leon Nielsen is joined up with an activist for abortion rights and are pressing for repeal of constitutional amendment, which looks after the rights of the unborn. So give this article a read. Now from the Hill, we have a documentary being produced or about released by HBO on He Who We Don't Name, John McCain. So give this article a read. Now we have an article from Brett Bart covering California. The state assembly has decided to try and force socialized medicine there. So we have the photo op picture here of one of those protesters probably getting paid to be out there. Just my opinion. Anyways, give this article a read by clicking on the thumbnail. And we have a Brett Bart article here on the 2018 Met Gala. And the theme this year was the Vatican. So we can tell by the dresses that's where they were headed. So give this article a read. First up on the second half, we have an article out of the Navajo Reservation, and there seems to be a loss of 200 horses down on the reservation there. Give this article a read. So the ties that bind is this next article here. It's a retweet, and it's pointing to former Secretary of State Kerry's daughter being married to an Iranian national. Physician, best man was the ceremony was the son of Mohammed Javad Zarif, Iranian's Minister of Foreign Affairs. Zarif was Kerry's chief counterpart in the Iran nuclear negotiations. So this gets quite incestuous really quick. So give this article a read. And next up, we have a tweet from Jack Posobiec calling out Allison about her Jewish conspiracies. So give that tweet a read. Try to do some research for us. If you come up with anything, leave it in the comments below. And finally, another retweet here, actually firsthand. It's Pink About It, and she is calling out Hillary for her faux pas on how Trump would do with foreign policy. So give that a read. And that's a wrap on questionable mentionables. And over to you, Juniper.
Tremendous news out of the White House. President Trump kept his campaign promise, and America is out of the Iran deal. So first, let's start with a little bit of backstory. In 2015, the Obama administration, along with other nations, brokered a deal regarding Iran's nuclear program. They called it the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA, which later became known as the Iran deal. A few deal highlights here. U.S. inspectors are banned from inspecting Iran's nuclear sites, sanctions against Iran are lifted, and a plane full of $400 million in cash is delivered to the Iranian government. Enter John Kerry, one of the negotiators of the deal. He helped orchestrate the Iranian deal, which is why he's so hot to keep it in place. If it goes away, so does his legacy, right? But in his zeal to meet with foreign politicians and diplomats, he may have violated the Logan Act. We'll watch this as it develops and keep you posted. Also interesting to note about John Kerry, his personal ties to Iran's Minister of Foreign Affairs. The minister's son was John Kerry's son-in-law's best man at the wedding. Yeah. So read more by clicking the articles here. So, due to the shadiness and imbalance of the deal, President Trump pulled America out of it. POTUS describes the deal as the worst deal ever negotiated. Folks, basically, it's a deal built on lies. And of course, the reaction across the globe is mixed, right? Most globalists are freaking out, stating that scrapping the deal will create a nuclear crisis. You can read more about what's being said here and make up your own mind. President Trump kept his campaign promise, and America is out of the Iran deal. Due to the time constraints, folks, we didn't get a chance to cover everything here posted in the White House section. There's a great story about awarding the Medal of Honor and FLOTUS hosting a Spouses of the Senate luncheon. So be sure to read the rest of the statements and articles and videos and things here at your leisure. And that's a wrap for the White House. Now on to iNet Coder.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys. Definitely appreciate it. Real quick, we'd like to call out our Patriot partners. We have National Liberty Alliance, really great website, learn about civics and common law of our Constitution. We have We the People 24/7 Patriot Soapbox. They're a 24/7 news program right here on YouTube. Coffee and Freedom. They also are doing some special shows over there. We have Q Ireland from Gran Torino. He's doing a lot of stuff for our friends over in Ireland. Dr. Jerome Corsi, renowned author, also Q Decoder. And if you happen to be on the Discord, we have the Name and Shame server, Internet Bill of Rights, Rudy Land, Able Danger, and Where Are the Children servers you can join by clicking those links. Also, we have a great resource from a good friend of ours, 412 Anon. He creates really awesome dashboards to look at the data a lot of the Anons put together. So let's move on.
And now for our poem of the day by Justin Montana Williams, titled Our Brothers We Shall Defend. To those whom I've fought with, and to those I don't know your name, we fought by one another. You did not die in vain. We fought, you died. We bled, and I cried. Even unto our untimely end, our country, our families, our brothers, we shall defend.
Okay, guys, I'd like to call your attention over here to our GoFundMe campaign. We call it Patriot Call. All of us Patriots here at Quniverse, we work in day and day night to actually get real news out to all other Patriots. Of course, mainstream media will not be doing that for you guys. So we have a campaign to create a 24/7 worldwide news agency, and we definitely need your help. So please go check out the campaign. We have a nice video there that kind of sums up exactly what it is we do. And so moving on, we have our resources. It's everybody from Breitbart News to Zero Hedge. Please spend some time on their sites. They do some really, really phenomenal work, and a lot of articles, of course, that they do we can't possibly cover. So check them out. And our hidden meme in the hidden meme of the day is a pretty funny one, and it's the new Democratic flag. It's awesome. You should check it out. And moving on, guys, we have the final thoughts of today. I'd like to send out a big thank you to all the Patriots out there. Your support means the world to me, to this team, everybody. I'd also like to thank those who serve and that who have served in our military. I remember you daily in my prayers. Also included are the POTUS, the military intelligence, his team, and all those involved in draining this swamp. There are no words to express my gratitude to those who are up to and willing to face down this evil, to protect the people around them. May God bless you all. And we actually have our latest Q post right here on this video, so please check that out at your leisure. And calling all Patriots, we need your help. The staff here at Quniverse is looking for interns to help sort through piles of information we've recently uncovered. We're looking for self-starting individuals to read through source data and report on these findings. If you happen to be here on the Discord, just check out the Name and Shame server. If not, please email us at iwannahelp@devbytes.com for more information. And our Quniverse contributors, of course, I'm on that coder. We have One Bad Cummings, Breaking Spectre, Cindy NSG, Coco Anon, Juniper, Odonata Anon, Red Cord, Sunny, The Missing Link, Tenacity, and Wolverine. And of course, Rue, we'd like to give your attention here to our fair use statement, Title 17 USC 107. We want to make sure we're never stepping on anybody's toes and everybody's given their due credit. And so, guys, we definitely appreciate you joining us here for another edition of Quniverse News. And again, if you could just leave your comments there below the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. And if you come back here often, go ahead and subscribe and turn those alerts on. We've got some really awesome breaking news that's going to be coming out here real soon. So make sure that you turn those alerts on so you don't miss it. So guys, thanks again for joining us, and until next time.